Welcome to Trekzone Plays. Matt Miller with you at Trekzone HQ. Today marks 2/3 of the way through our playthrough of Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity, the 1995 game from Spectrum Holobyte. And I know I've said it on every show this season, but I really wish they'd have either produced some more of these or had this as an actual episode. It is absolutely fantastic. Today we're returning to Horst III after defeating the Romulan invasion, learning a bit more about what's going on, and of course that mission back to Frigis as well. We're back, as I said, to Horst III to catch up with the Vulcan archaeologist Shanok once more and learn more about the Chodak. It's coming up on today's edition of Trekzone Plays, right after the opener and a quick ad break.
Retro games with no commentary. This is Trekzone Plays.
Captain, the ship's computer has completed its attempt to read the damaged Chodak data crystal we received from Chancellor Laraq.
Any success, Mr. Data?
Only in part, sir. Much of the information was corrupted, as we had feared. But there is one section that may be of interest in our current situation. As Chancellor Laraq guessed, Frigis was indeed a rebel base. The crystal explains how the rebels stole information from the main computer on Alinor and used it to attack the Unity device itself. The rebels used a programmable encryption rod to access Alinor's main computer and learn vital information about the Unity device. This information was then used to plan a raid against the Unity device. There is then a corrupted section and a brief mention of a space freighter called the Rinko. I am not certain what the connection is between the freighter and the raid. The complete text of the information may of course be found in the ship's computer.
Captain's log. We have arrived at Horst III to request some advice from the noted Vulcan archaeologist Shanok. Instead, all we have found here is a recorded message buoy broadcasting continuously.
Helm, standard orbit.
To whoever hears this message, the sudden incursion into this region of space by a flotilla of Romulan warships has made this remote expedition untenable. For the safety of my crew, I have decided to abandon this site temporarily. In the name of science, I ask that you do not disturb my work on this planet. There is one site that requires special care. The Chodak site seems to have a field that camouflages it to normal sensors. I located it mostly by accident. There is a platform jutting out part way down a deep shaft in the ground. Further investigation has been blocked by an ancient rock slide.
As much as I would like to honor Shanok's request to leave the site alone, we don't have that luxury. The current situation makes it imperative that we learn where this planet Alinor is. This Chodak base may have the information we need. We should form an away team at once to investigate this shaft that Shanok spoke of, but we'll have to be careful to disturb as little on the site as possible.
Sensors are picking up a vessel.
Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, Captain.
Go to red alert. A Romulan warbird is on sensors. Locking
Targeting
weapons.
Romulan warbird.
Do you need a moment, Captain? I understand you humans need to pray before death.
You know as well as I that our ships are evenly matched. A fight is in nobody's best interest.
I am very much interested in a fight, Captain. The destruction of the Enterprise will be a great boost to my career.
Torpedo locked.
You have tactical.
We are being hailed.
Do you need a moment?
My crew and I are prepared to sacrifice ourselves for the Federation. Are you prepared to make that same sacrifice, Commander?
We shall see who becomes the sacrifice. Prepare to die, Captain.
Fire.
We have been hit.
Targeting Romulan warbird.
Fire.
The enemy has engaged its self-destructive sequence.
Savor your victory while you can, Captain. You will find it short-lived.
Direct hit. Their shields are failing. The Romulan warbird has been destroyed.
Captain Picard, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Commander Data, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Commander LaForge, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Worf, please report to the transporter room.
Those spires are fascinating. I wonder whether they're natural or whether the Chodak sculpted them that way. This platform dates back to the Chodak Empire. We may be standing on the brink of an important discovery.
This site has the potential to significantly advance our knowledge of the Chodak. We should investigate everything carefully.
We should look carefully for any clues about the Chodak.
I wonder if there could be anything behind this pile of rubble. The tricorder says these rocks have been here for thousands of years. I'm reading something on the other side of them. No anomalous readings. This chasm descends to a depth of about 3.5 kilometers. This isolinear rod might help us use Chodak technology. Fascinating. Even though some of the data has been corrupted over time, our computer can probably deduce a wealth of helpful information from it.
Some of the data has been corrupted over time. However, I believe the ship's computer can still extract a great deal of information.
I'd like to get this information into the ship's computer and find out what it is.
I would suggest we have the ship's computer analyze these readings.
Even though some of the data has been corrupted over time, our computer can probably deduce a wealth of helpful information from it. Beam us up. Captain's log. The archaeological site on Horst remains a fascinating mystery. I'm hoping that our ship's computer will be able to analyze the tricorder data we discovered at the Chodak site and tell us quickly what we need to know.
Captain Picard, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Commander Data, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Commander LaForge, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Worf, please report to the transporter room. Beam down coordinates selected.
This large piece of machinery is still functioning.
This is definitely a field generator, but I'd have to study it more closely before I could give you any details. This device generates the chameleon field that disguises the station when you look at it from space.
This looks like a device for analyzing and recording astronomical observations.
This device is similar to a subspace phase spectrometer, which is normally used to measure the intervals between subspace phase fluctuations.
The device is like a subspace phase spectrometer. We use them to measure the intervals between subspace phase pulses.
I am not certain what this is.
If I were to speculate, I would say that this particular site was used for making astronomical observations.
That would explain why this outpost is so far from the main body of the Chodak Empire. Perhaps they were attempting to make clean observations, uncontaminated by interference from their own transmissions.
Let's record as much as we can. Our computer can analyze the data and make sense out of it later.
This instrument is set to measure the interval between certain subspace fluctuations.
The device was set up to measure the time between certain subspace pulses.
This is a highly advanced subspace phase spectrometer. I understand it's used by astronomers to measure the interval between certain subspace fluctuations. This is the energy source that keeps the site running.
The power source appears to still be functioning. Readings indicate that this chasm is 3.487 kilometers deep. The walls are composed primarily of igneous rocks. Beam us up.
Sir, we are receiving a signal from Starfleet. It is Admiral Williams.
On screen. Greetings, Admiral. What can we do for you?
An unknown alien race has just crossed the neutral zone into Federation space. All attempts to communicate with them have failed.
Are they hostile?
Definitely. So far, every ship and outpost in their path has been attacked, disabled, and left for dead.
Do we have any idea of their objectives?
That's the strangest part. It looks like they're pursuing the Romulan fleet into the Zatanus Nebula.
Then my first instinct will be to let them go with our blessings.
I wish we could. Unfortunately, Outpost Delta 08 lies directly on their present course. We can't afford to lose it. Proceed at best possible speed to the Yaz system and intercept.
Understood. Picard out.
What are your orders, Captain?
Set course for the Yaj system. Maximum warp. Engage.
Unidentified alien vessel ahead. They have locked weapons onto us.
Red alert! Shields up!
Hail them.
There is no response. They are firing.
Evasive maneuvers.
Go to red alert!
The ship is decloaking.
Torpedo away. Torpedo locked. We have been hit.
Engage tactical maneuver.
The enemy ship has sustained major damage.
Targeting area.
Mr. Data, check the ship's computer for any possible identification of these aliens.
We have no record of contact prior to these attacks.
There have been rumors of a war between the Romulans and an unknown race on the other side of Romulan space. Perhaps these are the same aliens.
I want to know why we had so little warning before the alien vessel's attack.
We did not detect them on our sensors until they were already within visual range.
Did they have a cloaking device?
During the battle, our sensors registered emissions similar to those of the alien probe that attacked Merton's stations and the planetary shield protecting Frigis.
A chameleon field?
That appears to be the case.
Perhaps these aliens were also responsible for the attack on Merton's station.
The chameleon field is an ancient Chodak technology. These aliens might have borrowed it from them.
Mr. Data, plot the course of the alien vessels based on their attacks in this sector.
The pattern of their attacks would indicate that they are headed for the Zatanus Nebula.
Then it appears that the Romulans aren't the only race seeking the Unity device.
I have correlated the ancient Chodak star chart with our own astrogation charts.
Does it reveal the location of the Unity device?
I can find no mention of the device. However, the chart does contain the planet Alanor.
If Alanor was the administrative center of the Chodak Empire, isn't there a chance some trace of the Chodak remain, even today?
That sounds like a long shot.
It might be the only one we've got, number one. Where is Alanor?
The planet is located inside the neutral zone.
I don't think we need to worry about the treaty at this point.
Still, we must use caution. There is a provision of the treaty which allows for scientific research. We'll use that as a cover for our mission. Mr. Worf, inform Starfleet.
Aye, sir.
Lay in a course for Alanor, Warp 5. Engage.
Captain, I've been studying our records of one of the Chodak devices we found on Horst III. It appears to have been designed to measure the period of a pulsar for use as a standard of time.
Translating Chodak time units would be a major breakthrough. It will give us a better understanding of Chodak science.
Unfortunately, the Zatanus Nebula has expanded since the Chodak abandoned the station. The nebula now completely obscures the pulsar.
The nebula grew that quickly?
The Zatanus Nebula is one of the youngest celestial bodies in the galaxy.
Are there observations of a pulsar in that region of space?
None in Federation records, but the Chodak star chart does contain a pulsar at the proper coordinates.
Can we observe the pulsar ourselves?
The pulsar is on the far side of the nebula. It cannot be observed from anywhere within Federation space.
Does it have a name? We should be sure a science vessel is sent to observe it.
The Chodak chart refers to it as the Gambara pulsar. It lies in unexplored space near the Romulan border.
Entering Federation space. Warning. Entering the neutral zone.